But for right now, we're so proud to welcome the vegan black metal chef. He combines his passions for vegan cooking and making metal music to inform and entertain. As a vegan for approximately 13 years and a musician for 10 years, his quest to make amazing food, music, and blasphemy have culminated to create a modern sensation. He is known for his popular series of YouTube videos that focus on single dishes as well as whole meal ideas, answering the question, what do we vegans eat? Each episode is set to a self-made and recorded black metal soundtrack with a healthy dose of comedy thrown in. His website seeks to help people transition to veganism and bring consciousness to their lives and all of their action. Please help me welcome the Vegan Black Metal Chef.
Yes. What the fuck is up, Orlando? You're not Orlando. I'm from Orlando. What the fuck is up, Atlanta, Georgia? Indian class on Veg Fest. Thank y'all for coming out. This is amazing. I will not be speaking like that the entire time. Believe it or not, it gets a little faster than you think. Everyone, give it up for yourselves. Look at this room. This is a vegan cooking demo. This is ridiculous. Thank you all for coming out. That was the cutest way my bio has ever been read. So, if you're not familiar with the Vegan Black Metal Chef cooking show, it is a cooking show on YouTube and on DVD. And it's a cooking show, but there's no talking in it. And I write my own soundtrack to the episodes, and the lyrics to the songs are the recipes and what's going on. And it's all subtitled, just in case you don't speak metal. Speaking of music, we have some music. That didn't work out so well. That's pretty metal, though, I have to admit. Music, take two. It was working a second ago. Black metal doesn't have good production anyways. So it just makes it sound better. So this cooking demonstration, we'll be teaching you to make 3 dishes from the Vegan Black Metal Chef Series 1 DVD. We'll be making an Indian spinach and potato aloo palak. Everyone give it up for the aloo palak. I'll be making an udon noodle stir fry with seitan and vegetables. Everyone give it up for the udon noodle stir fry. And finally, a buffalo seitan bites with vegan ranch dressing. Everyone give it up. Buffalo seitan. This will be a full cooking demonstration. You will see these dishes made from start to finish, with the exception of 2 things. First, I have some potatoes boiling. Can you all boil potatoes? Yes. And second, I have some rice that I cooked in a rice cooker. Can you all push the button on a rice cooker? All right, now that we're all on the same page, let's get started with this. Since this is going to be a full cooking demonstration, there will be a lot of downtime as things cook, because that's how you cook. So during that downtime, we're going to take this opportunity to ask questions about myself, veganism, the show, anything you want to know in life. I'm an absolute expert on my opinion. So let's get started. We're going to heat this burner, this incredibly expensive spiked burner, to a medium heat. What the hell's a medium heat, right? Anything between 1 and 10 is medium, right? So we're going to put this on a medium heat. People always ask, every time I cook something, it just burns, and I can't stand that. How do I prevent that? You turn the heat down. If it's burning, you turn the heat down. So we're gonna heat some canola oil up on this burner. Now, one thing about veganism and cooking vegan meals, an amazing vegan meal, is you don't necessarily have to do each and everything from scratch. Now, this comes in particular importance with Indian food. Oftentimes, you'll find an Indian recipe either online or in a cookbook, and it'll say use some cumin, use some turmeric, use some coriander, a couple other spices, and you kind of come out with something that is sort of Indian tasting, right? But when you go to the Indian restaurant, you find your dish is severely lacking. So, it's totally metal. They're gonna get that situated. Anyways, instead of buying each individual Indian spice, one of the amazing things that you can do is if you go into any Indian store, you're gonna see an entire wall of these various pre-made spice boxes. Now, if a grocery store has an entire wall of something, do you think people use it? Yes. Yes, of course. So, these things have a ton more ingredients than the standard Indian cookbook or recipe that you might find online. I have not found one that isn't vegan. Almost all of them are vegan. Make sure to read just in case. But these little Indian spice boxes. Now, one thing also about Indian food is that it doesn't matter exactly what spices you use. And I'm just gonna saute these onions. This is just an onion that's been chopped up. How much are we gonna use? All of it. About that much. That much. Very precise. In cooking, cooking is not baking. Cooking does not necessarily need exact measurements of everything. Once you learn the concepts and the methods of how to make various things, that is far more important than the absolute quantities of everything. You know how much of this spice you want. You know how much spiciness you want in food. You know how much salt. That's all going to be to your taste. No cookbook or no anything can tell you exactly how much you want in your food. So, if you go to an Indian restaurant, the food on the menu, such as aloo palak, aloo gobi, the various other things. I have a brain fire right now. The matar things. Those, in the actual name of the food, tells you what is in the food. So aloo palak, aloo means spinach. I'm sorry, aloo means potato, and the palak means spinach or sagaloo, depending on which restaurant you're going to. So the only main ingredients in that are the spinach and potato. The actual individual spices don't matter that much. If you go to 10 different Indian restaurants and order the exact same dish at each one, are they all going to taste the same? No. Therefore, the exact spices don't exactly matter then, do they? So we're gonna use that concept. You can grab any two of these spice boxes out of the Indian grocery stores that you want, and we're just gonna mix them together. We're just gonna mix them together. Get my Indian spice box opening tool. Now the second concept of cooking Indian food is we're going to saute the spices along with the onion. And sauteing the spices themselves really brings out, my arm gets caught on my implements, really brings out the flavor and the aromas of things. So if you're in the first two rows, this will probably kill you. We're just going to tack that onto the excitement. Are there any questions that we have about myself, veganism, or the show? Someone should come around with a mic and answer your questions.
All right, we'll do a few questions then. All right. Here's our first.
I know you said any spices will do, but will you just tell us what the name of those 2 boxes are that you purchased?
Sure. This one is a dal curry mix. Usually, I guess they think that it's good for lentils or Indian dal. And this one is an aloo bhaji curry mix. I don't even know what that is. I usually try to find the brain curry mix because it's just ridiculous. And just to show that it just doesn't matter which of the spices that you use, so long as your burner stays hot.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Yeah, Brian, can I call you Brian?
You can call me Brian.
Mr. Manowitz. I was wondering, do you have a day job, and B, are you self-taught, or have you gone to culinary school?
All right. I do have a day job. I work part-time at Sam Ash Music Store selling music equipment, as I'm a total gear whore myself, and I can't stop buying things. So I might as well work there and get discounts on them at least. And I also have another YouTube channel and website where I teach metal home recording and how to essentially do what I do and make music in a fast and easy way. And I've made some tools, some software tools for that website that I sell. And of course, I do the vegan black metal chef stuff. So all these things together kind of cobble together a living somehow. All right, we have the Indian spices sauteing. We're just gonna take some tomato. Was there another question after that? Where did I miss?
Self-taught or not?
Oh, self-taught. I'm completely self-taught chef. I did not go to any kind of culinary school. I don't even know exactly where you would go to culinary school to learn these various things that I personally want to learn. And I've been really into food and really into cooking for a long time, and been vegan for about 14 years. And at a certain point I said, well, I think my food tastes awesome. It's not that hard to do, and I just need to tell the world about this. So I initially thought of making a cooking show, but cooking shows kind of put me to sleep. And so I just made the cooking show I wanted to see.
Do you write your own music, and what instruments do you play?
I do write all my own music, all the music that you're not hearing right now is written, recorded, and mastered by myself. We'll see if we can get any of that music back. If we have anything back. But if not,
What instruments do you play?
oh, that's bad. Okay, they think it's my phone. That's really bad. So, yes, I play guitar, keyboards, bass. I program the drums in my songs because I'm not that good of a drummer. And vocalize. As the spinach cooks down, before the next question, we're going to chop up some garlic and put it in there. Now, as I hear now that it's killing at least the first 2 rows of people. Worked into my plan perfectly. Your knife doesn't have to be this awesome to peel garlic. But you can just smash the garlic and it comes right out of the peel. Hopefully the entire room will be dead by the end. there any other questions? Well, the spinach cooks down. I did a very precise amount of spinach, by the way. If you have a box or a bag, just toss in the box.
What's the symbol on your face stand for?
The symbol on my face stands for, this is what I came up with. Drawing on my face. There's no particular symbol there. I really just kind of follow the lines of my face. And whatever works out with that. That's how it goes. All right. Using my impeccable knife skills, I'm going to add some garlic. Now, if you order aloo palak at an Indian grocery store, at an Indian restaurant, does it come out looking like this? No, it does not. What the hell is this crap? We must then put this dish into the blender of oblivion. Everyone give it up for the blender of oblivion. Very carefully. I don't do this twice.
Okay, so I also have a question about your makeup.
Yes.
Does that itch really bad?
As anyone that wears makeup knows, we all play a game called Don't Scratch Your Face.
Also, if I want my face to be awesome like yours, what type of makeup should I use?
What I use is a brand called Meron Cream Stick Blend, or Cream Blend Stick, one of the two. And it has no beeswax or lanolin or anything. They don't test on animals, so it's pretty awesome. Yes! Now, not everything by that brand is vegan, but this happens to be. One more question before we blend the spinach.
What convinced you to go vegan, and what are your favorite black metal bands?
That's a long question. On three, give a hail Satan. 1, 2, 3. Hail Satan! Yeah. Yeah. All right, we have blended the spinach. Now, what made me go vegan? I think I have the most typical vegan story in the world. I had a girlfriend in high school that went vegetarian. And at the time, I said, you know what? I see that as the right way to go, but I'm not ready for that yet. So I didn't. And I didn't go vegetarian or vegan at that time. And then about a year passed, and my first year of college, I saw that she didn't die. It was crazy. And so after seeing that she didn't die, I said, well, if I see that as the right way to go, then really, what am I so afraid of? And because I saw that it was just a fear in myself that wasn't like a fear of life or death or a fear of any kind of imminent danger. It was just this weird fear of the unknown. And I couldn't just live with that within myself. And so I just got to face that fear, went vegetarian for about 3 months, or somewhere around 3 months. Then I saw this animal rights group on campus at the University of Florida where I went to college.
Go Gators!
Go Gators! I never saw a sports game. But I found this animal rights group called the Animal Activists of Alachua, and went to one of their meetings and saw a few videos. And after that I said, well, now I'm vegan. And as far as, so now most Indian cooking has what's called ghee or clarified butter in it. We're going to use earth balance as a substitute. Everyone give it up for earth balance. Take a dollop of earth balance. Put it in there. As far as favorite black metal bands go, the ones that never really leave my player have to be Dimmu Borgir, Emperor, and Immortal. Kind of the classics, or really not really classics, but new, I guess, better production black metal classics. But they're some of the greats. But I really like a really huge range. So we're gonna take the potato. And you know it's done when it's easily pierced with your mystical knife. You're going to mix it in.
Okay, so I think yours is the only show that I've ever seen where someone described mixing up their sauce and making it look like puke. And so, like, I totally appreciate that. I want to know, where do you get your badass knives?
Where do I get my badass knives?
And what knives do you use at home? I assume you don't use those to cut vegetables.
I only use these. They are made by the finest artisans in hell. I'm going to add some salt. Because if you use potatoes, it needs salt. Now, salt is very important in Indian cooking in general. If you think that your dish should taste really good, but it's just not quite there, try adding some salt. It really brings out the flavor of it. Everyone give it up for the aloo block. Now, sadly, and awesomely, we have so many people here that not everyone is going to get to try all the dishes. We're going to pass out as many samples of whatever made as possible. But if I could have a volunteer, we'll ask someone to describe it for you. Who would like to try the aloo palak? Right back there. Come on up. Everyone give me a round of applause. Can we get some of the basmati rice?
I'm going to hand you a mic so everyone can hear you.
Now I'm going to warn you. When putting a little bit of salt in the rice, the entire shaker came undone. We'll see what happens. Give that a try. Here it goes. Will it be terrible? Or awesome? Remember how much I paid you. How do you like it?
I think if this is hell, then I don't need a taste of heaven.
Yes! Joshua, everyone give it up for Joshua.
Okay, so we are working, our wonderful Atlanta VHS volunteers are over here working to get food put in sample cups, but it's going to be a minute, so we will bring it out when we're ready.
All right, for the next dish, we're gonna have some smooth jazz. This is definitely the smooth jazz part. It's okay, you can keep it going.
Brian, do you want to keep taking questions while you're making food?
Well, We'll take questions in 1 second.
Okay.
So, the next dish is going to be an udon noodle stir fry with seitan and vegetables. We have fans of the udon noodle stir fry. Now, many times, if you go into an Asian grocery store, you may see things that say that they're udon noodles, but unless they come in sort of a shrink-wrapped package or frozen, they're not exactly udon noodles. They look like these thick noodles. And udon noodles are, I've never seen them not be vegan. These ones do have a vegan spice pack, but we're not going to be using that. Watch out for the ones with non-vegan spice packs, so we don't need that crap here. And one concept that we're going to use when cooking the udon noodle stir fry is we're going to separate the sauce and the noodles and everything that you're cooking, and we're going to combine them all at the end. That will keep the vegetables crisp and everything tasting awesome. It will make it not overpowering. It won't make the vegetables soggy and overpowering and too salty. They'll just be right. So in this, we have just a small amount of water. Udon noodles don't really soak up water very well. So for the sauce, we're not going to make it too watery. We're going to use a little cube of Asian vegetable broth. If you go to the Asian store, you will find an entire aisle of different broths and vegetable broths. If they have an entire aisle of something, do you think they use it? So it's called sapchae, although it doesn't really matter again exactly which one you use, because they're all going to be a different flavor of awesomeness. We're going to open one of these up and toss it into the boiling water. Now, this entire demonstration is meant to debunk myths about veganism. Some people say, oh, I could only be vegan if only it were easy to make the food, if it wasn't so difficult, if only things didn't cost so much, if only veganism wasn't so expensive, then I would be vegan. Or if only vegan food tasted good, then I would be vegan. You'll find that in this demonstration and in my videos, all of these myths will be debunked. In the aloo palak, was there anything you saw that was expensive so far? Was that difficult to do? It tasted like hellish heaven. What the hell are people talking about? Now, just so you know, these Indian spice boxes cost about $1 a piece, and you use maybe a sixth of each one to make that. So these Indian spice boxes will last you a very long time. I'm adding some soy sauce now. We're going to add a little bit of red wine. Carnivore.com claims that the Sutter Home Cabernet Sauvignon is vegan. What's not vegan about wine? Well, sometimes they have fish swim bladder bits in them called isinglass that they filtered through. We're going to add some sesame oil. I'll try not to kill myself. But if I do, we're just going to tack that onto the excitement.
Hey, Brian.
Yes.
We came up with a slightly more equitable way of distributing samples. We've decided that in order to try to feed as many people as possible, again, knowing we're not going to be able to feed everybody, if you get to sample one dish, you won't get to sample another dish. So he's doing 3 dishes. So if you get a sample past when another one is offered to you, if you've already had one, in order to give someone else an opportunity to try. Does that sound good?
Does that sound good?
Yes!
All right, awesome.
And we're coming out with samples now of the first dish.
Right.
Are there any more questions while I boil noodles and boil sauce?
All right.
Can you talk a little bit about the process to make one of your videos and how long does it take to actually write the music, record, film, edit, and everything?
The question is the process of making the Vegan Black Metal Chef videos. Now, it does take a significant amount of time to make each video. It takes only about a day to do the actual recording. Everything that I make in the videos is just what I eat on a daily basis. I believe in eating a wide variety of foods and vegan foods in general. And so the videos are really just what I eat on a day-to-day basis. So I record the cooking, and then the editing takes about a week, maybe a little bit more. The music production is what takes the longest. It takes about sometimes up to three weeks or so. And then adding the vocals and doing final editing. It can take anywhere from about a month if I have nothing else going on and a whole lot of time, up to about 3 or so months, depending on everything that's going on in life. So since some of the water is boiled away, I'm going to add just a touch more water. Any other questions?
Yes. My question to you is, what's your favorite cuisine that you like to cook? You see that you could be Indian and also Asian as well. So what's your favorite cuisine to cook?
I like cuisine from everywhere. You're going to see in the videos that really any culture typically has a significant number of vegan dishes, especially things that the poorest people in the culture eat, and it's quite tasty. So really I don't really discriminate. When people ask, oh, what's your favorite thing, favorite food? Right now I'm cutting up some ginger. If you've never cooked with fresh ginger, you basically just take a knife and you just cut around these little brown parts. And then we're going to grate the rest of the ginger in. So really, any food that's made to a pretty high level, that's what I like. I had Soul Vegetarian last night. Everyone knows about Soul Vegetarian? That might be one of the best vegan ice creams I've ever had in my life. They're homemade ice cream. So if you've never had it, definitely eat there. So really everything, every culture, and there's so many vegan choices that I haven't even tried them all yet. So there's really just a ton of options. Any other questions? I'm going to cut up a few more pieces of garlic.
Do you make your own gear?
Do I make my own gear? I do now. However, this originally was made, of course, since vegans don't wear leather, this is not made out of leather. This is made out of rubber. So where are you going to find a leather worker that knows how to work with rubber? And the answer is the fetish scene. So this was actually made by a transvestite, the fetish scene. And she's awesome. Now the other problem with the goth fetish scene in general is that people are very unreliable. You know it's true. So now I've had to actually learn how to make and repair these myself. So.
I have a question. How many times have you cut yourself with your really cool, scary knife?
Every time I think they're really not that sharp, I cut myself.
Okay, because I was thinking that the blood would make it not vegan. So.
Well, it's vegan blood. So I'm going to grate some garlic and ginger. And it sounds like we have music again. Can we turn that up?
Oh, yeah.
Give it up for the sound guy. We have it online. So we are grating some garlic and ginger in to the sauce. Make it very The noodles done, we're going to put these aside. And get ready to saute the seitan. Everyone give it up. Seitan. And of course, at home you won't be trying to boil things and saute things in deep fryers. So this will be much easier to control at home. So seitan, as everyone knows, everyone give me a hail seitan. Seitan is wheat protein. And the main concept with cooking this, the number one reason people's seitan comes out like garbage is that they just don't cook it enough. Now you can make this from scratch, and it's very easy, it's very cheap to make yourself by just taking a bag of vital wheat gluten, and you essentially just mix it with some vegetable broth, and then boil or bake it. You mix it with some vegetable broth into a dough. You then slice up that dough, and then boil that or bake it for about 50 minutes. And then that's what comes up with what I call the raw seitan. Now all you raw people here are like, that's not raw. All I meant is that's sort of what you have here. It comes up with what you have in this pre-made package. And the main reason it doesn't come out very good for a lot of people is that they just don't saute it enough afterwards. So we're gonna heat up some more cooking oil. This part over a medium heat. Any questions while the oil heats up? Well, I'm just gonna stare at you.
Just raise your hand if you have a question, and I'll bring you the mic.
Yes, does somebody make your awesome bowls and stuff, or do you buy it somewhere?
Well, I don't make the metal myself, but I do make my own. Spike bowls. So I do the modifications myself. Yes.
All right, we have another question in the back.
I just want to say, someone was asking about your knives. I think on your website you actually have a link to the shop where you buy your knives, just in case anyone's actually interested in that. What else? Oh yeah, if you live in an apartment, do people compliment or complain about your cooking smells? Do they know who you are? Do you have to put up with that kind of thing?
Say that last part one more time.
Do people complain about your cooking smells where you live?
The cooking smells.
Or the headbanging? Does it get too loud?
Luckily, I am the only person that lives with me. If not, many people might complain about the smells or the water that I'm getting everywhere.
Other questions? Just raise your hand. All right, another one in the back.
Hey, just a request. After hearing the review of Soul Vegetarian, I would like to see vegan black metal restaurant reviews.
Vegan black metal what?
Restaurant reviews.
Restaurant reviews. That's a good idea. Although many places might not like what I have to say. There are many places that are awesome. And what are some other places in Atlanta besides Soul Vegetarian? Just call them out. Healthful Essence. Adultery Vegan.
Drink art, yeah.
I'll have to check these places out.
If you got a goodie bag this morning, you might have found a copy of the Atlanta Vegan Guide in it. That's atlantaveganguide.com. You can also pick up a copy at the sample table. And that's got all of our vegan restaurants. Here's another question.
Do you ever wear your hair in a man bun?
Do I ever wear what?
Do you need it to be repeated?
Yes.
Do you ever wear your hair in a, quote, man bun?
A man bun. Everything old is new now, isn't it? Is that like a Japanese style samurai bun? I've never done that. Maybe I should. Maybe I'll give it a try. Maybe not. Does anyone have a man bun here to show off? Show us your man bun. That is So we're going to saute the seitan. Now the main concept here is that it has to be really brown. When you think it's done, just keep going. Just keep going. It shouldn't be burnt, but it should be really brown on all sides. Any other questions?
So I know it can be really hard to eat at restaurants with your non-vegan friends. My question to you is, what is your personal vegan hell?
What is my personal vegan heaven?
Hell.
Hell.
Now the real cooking starts.
Actually, Orlando is incredibly vegan friendly. There's a ton of places. I just heard Ethos out there. Ethos is awesome. There's really a ton. Even some of the not all vegan places. This place called Taco China, which does sort of a Mexican Asian fusion thing. There's a place that was run by a Buddhist temple. It's now called Veggie Garden. That's fantastic. There's really a lot of really awesome places in Orlando. Anything else?
What happened to your high school girlfriend?
What did happen to her? I don't entirely know now. I think she became a behavioral psychologist. And I'm not sure if she ever went vegan, but I believe she stayed vegetarian. I'm not 100% sure at this point. Good. Yeah.
More questions?
I'm heating up some oil now with the vegetables for the udon noodle stir fry. We have some green onion mushrooms.
Raise your hand if you had a question. I know I had one over here. Slowly getting there.
If someone was to purchase your music, is there somewhere where you can get the lyrics? Because I want to know what's being said.
Yeah, absolutely. The music without the, you can purchase the music without the lyrics on the website, veganblackmetalchef.com. There's a link there to the album. You can download the songs with the lyrics for free. You take the message of veganism, then you can have the music for free, or you just want the backing track. It's $5 for that. The lyrics to the songs are all in the videos, and it's just in the subtitles of the videos, so you can read along as they're said.
I have another question. I was wondering, do you have any pets? And if you do, can you tell us about them?
I do not actually have any pets. For me, when you have a pet, of course you have to give it a forever home. And I'm a little bit too transient right now for a pet to own me, which is really the way things should go with that. So, as of now, I have no companion animals or pets. Anything else?
Other questions? Just raise your hand.
I'm gonna add in some mushrooms.
Do you find that you rock harder before or after a good meal?
Repeat that one more time. I said repeat that one more time.
Do you find you rock harder before or after a good meal?
Oh, I rock harder afterwards. I really like eating, and I only really started cooking so that I could get to the eating part, and it'd be good.
Brian, do you go on Reddit? And for anyone who isn't on Reddit, I invite everybody to go to the vegan subreddit. We're all very welcoming there, and we love for everybody to join in there. So if you're not on there, Brian, I encourage you to come and join us on the social media interwebs.
That's what Reddit is, right? It's like a giant cult that says, join us. Reddit is awesome. Actually, I did an AMA on Reddit, and for those of you that don't go on Reddit, it means ask me anything. Sort of like what we're doing now, but without the filter of internet life. And so Reddit is really awesome. I just find that every time I get on Reddit, I lose about 3 hours of my life reading about someone that has a bionic arm or something.
All right, we got about 5 more minutes, so we're gonna just take a handful of questions. So raise your hand if you have a burning question you want answered.
So before the next question, while we have the seitan cooking and the vegetables going, we're going to make the vegan ranch dressing. If you take nothing else out of this cooking demo today, this vegan ranch dressing is incredible and goes great on everything. Everyone give it up for Veganade. Now even vegans can enjoy the pleasure of whipped fat. So we're going to take some Veganades, scoop it into our bowl. We're going to take just a few ingredients. These are all in the video or DVD. If you forget, don't take out your phones now. We have garlic powder. We've got onion flakes. Very precise quantities. We've got some parsley flakes. Just want to get as many in there so it looks like it has green specks, like ranch dressing. We have onion powder. We have dill. Some pepper. And some salt. We're right with the salt. We finish this off with just a little bit of white vinegar, just to get it liquidy. We mix it all up. Everyone, give it up for the vegan ranch dressing. So our dishes are almost done. You can smell the vegetables burning from the seitan. It's being sauteed. If only these burners would stay on well. We're going to take some of the seitan, put it in for the udon noodle stir fry. Going to add in the noodles. And then add in the sauce. Going to use just a tiny bit of water to get the rest of the sauce.
Brian, I know
That
you're
question
finishing
that you
up. Do you
asked.
want to take any more questions?
Yes.
All right, we're going to take 2 final questions. And I've got one fella right here. So shake your hand violently if you really want your question answered. All right, this guy.
So from watching your demonstration, you tend to be a little free-form in the way that you cook. Is there any dish that you've come up with yourself or a variation on one that you're proud of?
Any dish that I come up with myself? Yeah, actually, I think the majority of all the dishes are somewhat mine, but nothing really comes from nowhere. And I really focus on a lot of basics. And to me, if you could do the basics really well, and if you understand the concepts, then you can really make a huge variety of things with just a few ingredients. I hope that answered your question.
All right, last question.
Have you ever had a mosh pit break out during a cooking demonstration? And if not, is that one of your dreams?
Can we make that happen?
All right, y'all, let's make it happen.
Everyone, give it up for the udon noodle stir fry. For the final last bit of the buffalo seitan bites. We're going to take some buffalo sauce. Everyone give it up for Frank's. Now there's one scary ingredient in here. It says natural butter type flavor. I assure you I've called many, many, many times, and they've assured me that it is vegan and all their other sauces are vegan. So there's no animal products in here. I'm going to pour in some buffalo sauce. Mix it with some earth balance. You can add some additional cayenne pepper for more heat. Buffalo sauce is a cayenne pepper based hot sauce. Saute this up for 1 more minute. Now what would buffalo seitan be without some celery? Everyone.
Volunteers are working on getting more samples made, but it'll be just a second.
Everyone give it up for the buffalo seitan bite. You all been absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for coming out. I'm the Vegan Black Metal Chef. I'll see you out at the table. Come grab a picture, grab a shirt and a DVD. We'll see you there. Thanks again.